Yeah, it's his 5th team in the last 6 years, so he's had a hard time finding a place to stick around.
On second down, Rodgers dancing around, and down he goes. Bennett was in there with Frank Clark. Here's that last play, and an eventual sack, the 4th of the game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers by Seattle.
We're being rushed, down he goes. It's a safety. Well, the Seahawks feel it's a safety. Let's see, we haven't had the signal. They placed it outside, just inside the field of play.
Clear miscommunication here on the left side. You've got 4 coming and only 2 blockers. They've got to adjust the protection. That's where the 12-man comes into play, and that's where communication comes into play.
This is the 4th game of the year for these guys. They run some stunts up front. The pass has gotten away, but that won't be close to a first down. Clark is in his spot. Normally they move them in and out. That line shifting around. Gore looks for room and finds none. There is Frank Clark, the aforementioned one, is able to stop him. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, and Frank Clark had 10 sacks a season ago, so it's not like you're going to miss that much. Coming around the official here, jumping over and making a play on Gore. So plenty of athletes on this defensive line.
Frank Gore is the running back. Give it to Gore, and Gore goes nowhere. Bottled up, flag down. Sort of, kind of. First down. Little dump off on a screen. Gore threading his way for a first down, and plenty more to the 45-yard line.
And what a play. Trying to buy himself some extra seconds, keeping the play alive, and now the Rams showing a heartbeat. Football is loose. Who's got it? It's Richardson. And look at the big man stumbling down to the 20. It was Frank Clark who jarred it loose. Richardson on a 20-yard return. And turnover number 5 committed by the Rams.
I want you to take a look at the hands and the leverage of Frank Clark and how fast he turns this corner on Andrew Whitworth, who has only given up 1 pressure all year. Look at that hand movement and how fast he explodes into Jared Goff. I mean, that is about as good as a speed rush as you could possibly put on, who is a very good player in Andrew Whitworth. Unbelievable by Frank Clark to turn the corner.
Watch this stack. Little pitch play. Gurley, and Seattle was not fooled. Frank Clark wrapping him up around the shoulder pads. And this guy Clark is good for 1 or 2 incredible defensive plays a game. He had one last week where he leapfrogged an offensive player and made a tackle.
Well, career season last year, 10 sacks, and here he is working against Andrew Whitworth. It's the 2nd time here in the second half.
Lone setback. How does Goff respond after that poorly thrown pass that was deflected and intercepted, I should say. Austin tackled here by Frank Clark.
Manning is hit. He lost the football, and the Seahawks recover. Frank Clark scoops up the football, and it's the first turnover today forced by the Seattle D.
Take the sack.
Jaron Reed forced the fumble. Frank Clark recovers. Second rush per carry. Already 3 penalties for 25 yards against Seattle. 1st and 10 for the Giants. Manning. And he is hit as he throws, incomplete.
From Ben Roethlisberger, 3 for 3 on the opening drive for 46 yards and a touchdown. Andrew Catalan.
Or if they didn't have a good pass rush, you could have some success, but when they can get off the ball and they cover, it's tough.
Manning with pressure completes it to Fareed. Wagner is there again for Seattle. There's just nowhere to go against this Seattle defense, and really nowhere to go if you're Eli Manning, and it's a quick 3 and out.
Remember I talked about zone coverage, but Bobby Wagner, I think, is one of the ultimate middle linebackers. Shane Vereen, great pass catcher, he holds the record for the most receptions in the Super Bowl, but you know, that ability to
Seattle. Texans off a bye have won 2 of 3. Seahawks have won 3 straight. 2nd and 5. Here comes the pressure. Clark has got him. Another flag. They'll put this at the 38.
Offense number 84. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
And 84 is the tight end. A loss of 9 on the play. Griffin is the tight end trying to block him.
That's a tough block because Griffin's coming from across the formation. He's got to block the end man in the line of scrimmage, which is Frank Clark, and Frank Clark just walks him right back into the lap of the quarterback. See, he's coming from across the formation. Clark takes a good angle, and comfortable and confident Bill O'Brien is in his rookie quarterback.
4th and 1.
You cannot dink and dunk it. You've got to take shots down the field and pick up chunks of yardage.
3-point game, 1st and 10, 2 timeouts. Watson.
They can't take
Frank Clark. Sheldon Richardson. Timeout.
Cousins looks that way and now goes across the other side of the field. Has a completion, but not nearly close to a 1st down. He gets it to Davis, who's tackled quickly, and we have a penalty flag too, I think. No, and it's 10-2 Redskins. There is Cousins. They'll run it again. Kelly just nowhere to go. Clark, Will Hoyt, and everybody else.
Andre Ellington in 3rd and 15. Rushing 4, Stanton. Incomplete. Never looked pretty. A hit was coming. And took yet another one. And Frank Clark is the one who got there for the Seahawks.
Against Jeremy Lane, but they've got a whole bunch of help behind him.
They're dropping back in the zone. They try to go underneath. They can't even complete that. As Stanton was again under duress, Michael Bennett was coming in on the Arizona quarterback, and it's a 3.
That offense is getting hot. You need to keep him on the sideline.
Beathard on 3rd down. Dumps it off. What a great play made by Bobby Wagner. Not nearly enough. Down at the 48-yard line was Selleck.
These 2 guys, these 2 linebackers are just great players. Bobby Wagner just reads the game. Pass coverage so well. He's so easy. He's effortless the way he moves in space. Then it comes up and makes.
In the backfield. Now they send him into the slot. They got Barner in the slot to the right. And you've got a pass down the left sideline that is incomplete, intended for Nelson Aguilar. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Well, if there's one position of concern on the Philadelphia Eagles, Halapoulivaati Vaitai playing left tackle.
Wentz under pressure, and he goes down. Frank Clark, with some help from his friends, sets up a 4th down and a punt. 8-yard sack.
A lot of games up front. Get a little pick there and loop around right there by Frank Clark. Tough on a new combination. You have Vaitai over there on that left side. They've only been working together with Wisniewski for a period of time.
But now Philly needs 2 touchdowns, and they start from the 21-yard line. And there's pressure again, and there's another sack at the 14. Frank Clark comes barreling through.
All right, first you get the pressure on the outside, force Wentz to step up, and then his running mate, Frank Clark, on the other side with the inside move against Vaitai.
Arm up, no flag. 1st and goal from the 4. On the ground, going nowhere. In fact, taken down behind the line of scrimmage by Frank Clark is LeGarrette Blount to make it 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, just so difficult to ask tight ends to block defensive ends of the Seattle Seahawks. It just
while this is going on, if this continues that way, so we don't have any other incidents.
Strip shot, ball is loose. Very alert on the play to dive on it. Clark was the guy who got the sack and forced fumble, but Havenstein jumped on it.
Now, if this doesn't tell you it's the Rams' day, I don't know what does, because what a terrific play by Frank Clark. Watch him come from the top of your screen, number 55. He beats the All-Pro, Andrew Whitworth, and there's the strip sack that you described, Kevin. That's a ball that Seattle normally has a shot at and gets. In this case, it lays
But
there.
to be inside the 5, the 2-yard line, 3-yard line, and not give the ball to Zeke on 1st and 2nd down, that's going to be questioned.
Prescott's in trouble again and sacked. Frank Clark. And a complete collapse to this point by this Dallas offense. Had a 1st and goal, and Scott Linehan can't come up with the right play.
I think they missed Tyron Smith. Here he is right here, 75, Byron Bell and Frank Clark. He leads the team in sacks because of a knucklehead play.
From the 35. Elliott gets tripped up. That play was made by Frank Clark. A gain of 1 as a result.
Well, as I've talked about, Joe, that this Cowboys offense, big plays in the passing game.
3rd down, tipped away. Was trying to get to Fitzgerald, but ball was knocked away before it could get to number 11.
Good job by that front. Just 4 guys rushing. They're not going to get to Drew Stanton, but get your hands up. See if it's Frank Clark coming back to the inside. See if he gets the deflection as he cuts across the pocket. That's very athletic.
Blitz, 3rd and 9. Stanton incomplete. It's 4th down. Frank Clark with the most heat on.
Frank Clark's at the bottom right here. He's going to work his way back to the inside and loop it. That's actually Dion Jordan. Frank Clark coming from the opposite side.
But Cardinal defense bailed him out. Well, back to Kerwin Williams. And shoved back at the line of scrimmage. Frank Clark got to him first. On the day he had started out great.
You mentioned how well he started out. That was a really nice job right there with an improvisation for the touchdown. But his receivers were helping him out.